I heard one of them out there, or a couple of them actually, were talking about God wants you to create. Well, ask God, who communicates with them, who are in video, that wants to communicate God's message to me. Uh, what exactly was it He wanted me to create? Tell me what He wanted me to create exactly. Or, well, for that matter, just give me the rough dimensions and general gist of the idea, and I'm sure we can get right to that. It sounds like a pretty good idea to me. Of course, I might have more questions. I might have to wait until he shows up. We're in direct communication. I can ask him questions about it before, we commit ourselves to something that has no payoff or is a payoff for evil, right? And somehow favors or, um, does benefits evil in some way. Because no thing that I'm going to do is to benefit evil or to further evil in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And that's just the way that is. Because why? Well, as far as I can tell, they need their heads chopped off and or crushed and a whole lot of other stuff done, whippings and beatings and get thee down, Satan, that kind of thing. Um, they've been a bit too belligerent. I've seen these manipulations about these people that appear rational and maybe even sympathetic to the man's side of the story, talking about the problems in dating and so on. And one of them was a guy, and he was talking about we need to be able to move on. I don't know, and be able to get into. He was saying something. We need to. I don't know. I guess it sounds sort of like he was saying come up with some ground rules of how to interact so we can live together and for the benefit of the continuance of the species or something like that. And I heard another one talking some stuff and they're talking about the rationality of that they were speaking rationally and seemed logically and from analytical points of view, and this kind of stuff, and what I was seeing there was people refusing to call things for what they are. Even though we may even speak to it and talk about the evil, goddamned horror from hell or whatever, um, whatever title you want to give it, the evil, damned, divine feminine. Um, it Well, that's first of all is that's how you can tell an awful lot of these from the darkness. They just had this real challenge to refer to people and things in such a way that places responsibility upon the people for their actions, even though they're in league with the demons that are supposedly directing them. They willingly accepted them. Uh, but a few things keep coming back as like glaring omissions and misunderstandings. It's like, what do you think Gen Z means? It's not that there's going to be subsequent generations. That's the last one. That's what Z is. That's the last one. It's like Generation Omega. You see what I'm saying? I'm going. What do you think that signifies? Lots and lots more. Uh, and then they talking about these relationships and saying these modern women are glorifying like the Lilith spirit or something like that, and but then skipping past the fact that you're talking about spiritual stuff, spirituality, spiritual demons and spiritual forces, and then like well, we're going to figure out some way to get together and continue on, and there's this conspicuous lack of thought and talk about love. And I can tell you right now, there's not much of a reason for any of the men and women to get together. I mean, if they're entering into holy matrimony, a spiritual mechanism built to intertwine these two souls into one, for some type of perfectionist type of, I don't know, um, then okay. But then that's something you sure don't want to break out of because of some, for any reason, really, if you can help it, um, because there's real consequences to that. But then otherwise, I mean, you're just talking about what, a legal contract to get together for what reasons, so that you can leave them stuff in a will or something, make it easier. What to have children? What? Because it seems like marriage doesn't guarantee men anything at all at this point. The way they talk about it, I'm saying, um, but rather that it's all in favor of now with no fault divorce, women who are you know. Well, I mean, look, the thing of it is way back in the day, women who got divorced, they made a big deal out of the thing. Some of these women were, these women are in bad relationships and stuff, and they had to get out, right? So you got to feel sorry for them. Well, that only plays out for so long before so many of the guys that are known to be good guys who got burned in these relationships, soaked by some whore who got bored and wanted to go back to her hoary life and go back to, uh, being Satan's bitch or whatever, uh, toasted him and ruined the family and scarred the children because she decided to divorce him. Uh, Again, why is it men are interested in this? What's the consequences for a woman just being a complete ass and blowing up the thing? Why is it that he's got to pay for every? What? No, no, no. This feminism thing is that's you done it in. You've really done it in. See, the only reason why all of this worked was because the vast majority of people were all in agreement about the kind of dream that they were trying to live in. And they understood that that did actually take community, a solidarity of community. That's why they all went to church. So they could all say, "Hi, yeah, we're still in on this dream, and we're all still of the same belief system. We're all still going to try to toe the same line. We're all going together in the same direction." And it was to maintain, you know, a certain level of happiness, and maintain the opportunity to achieve real fulfillment. And unbeknownst to women, I guess, they were some of the morality gatekeepers and were expected to be better automatically and be trained to be better spiritually and emotionally at an earlier age. And it was because they had the potential to become really horrible and really self-sabotage the hell out of themselves for and any possibility of natural fulfillment as being a woman, playing out the role of the woman. Okay. And that's because of the devil. Okay. So, well, I guess we do have a few lessons in us. And I do believe that, yeah, I guess we'll be able to script some out. And I heard one of these girls talking the other day about exterior software or sites that you can use for video editing or something like that. And I think that's what I need is something I can upload like this video here and then, paste it in on over top of some stock video of flowers swaying in the breeze or something like that. Something completely banal, but maybe pretty. um, because I'm not really creating anything, I'm just utilizing it. And yeah, and it seems like the games, I put up the game things, it's like, what? It's like I'm creating images. And really, I'm not creating images, I just recorded it. I just recorded the images that were there. It's not that I created images, but it seems like there's a different landscape, and this repetitive disrespect of this satelliting us and with these people doing this whole projection of these stories at us and saying that, well, it's going to be this, or we're doing that, or blah, 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 and you don't have the common decency or respect to actually come to me and speak to me on a one-to-one basis like normal people speak to each other. But yet you're trying to work energies and cause linkages and this, that, and another, manipulation. Um, you'd be best to leave off with that stuff. Just seriously, it's that's the kind of stuff that gets you into real bad trouble. That all that Machiavellian stuff, of darkness. It's really not to be played at the light of anything of light. It really is just not the right idea. Um, yeah, so I'm listening to that stuff, and it's like, all the manipulations are failing. All the psychological and emotional manipulations are failing against us. And it's because more and more it's just the truth of who and what it is that we have been dealing with for how long? This goes back a long ways, doesn't it? Long, long ways. And no, we're not of the family of darkness. And they can't claim me. There's just no possible way that anything of the darkness, of magic, fire, hate, any of that, there's no way that any of those can claim me in any familial sense or as a partner or a mate or anything like that. Because we are not the same at all in any way, shape, or form. And I am in disagreement with them uh, at the very base of what they are and what I am. We're just completely different in how we vibe and what we're about. I like to build where that's not what their deal is. It's not what I see in them. We're just too different. And there's just no way I'm going to link with the enemy and be partnered with them, because again, we don't want any of that. We don't need it, and they don't apparently have anything of any value to give. It seems like this always the exact same thing. They show up, they try to create some type of linkage, maybe it's long or short, but next thing you know is, hey, guess what? We just received some damage. Damn them to hell. Damn them and everything that helps them right straight into the pit and burn in the fires of hell. That's what I say. And let it be. Let them be sucked right down into the blackness that they embraced, the evil that helped them to hate upon us and go against us and harm us. Let it just consume them, drag them right straight back down into the pit and away from me. So I can continue on and be as I'm supposed to be: healthy, wealthy, happy, and free, successful and victorious, for all the best to see. God love you and God keep you.